Our next chapter is chemical kinetics. That is chemical kinetics. Here word kinetics denote motion. Kinetics means motion. Now let me tell you why we are going to discuss about chemical kinetics. In previous class we already discussed that thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, feasibility of reaction we discussed. Then what is the need of chemical kinetics? Why we are going to discuss chemical kinetics here? Because in thermodynamics, on the basis of Gibbs free energy change, that delta G, if it is negative or positive, we can simply predict that reaction is spontaneous or non-spontaneous, or we can say that reaction is feasible or not feasible. Then what is the speed of reaction and what is the mechanism of reaction, how this reaction is going on. In a reaction, reactant get converted into product, so that reactant get converted into product or not, that is only explained on the basis of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is not able to predict by what amount of that given reactant get converted into product and how much time it will take that reactant get converted into product. This thing is explained by kinetics, that chemical kinetics. So we need kinetics to explain that what is the speed of a reaction, what is the mechanism of this reaction, how much reactant get converted into product, how much time it will require to convert that given reactant into product. That thing is explained on the basis of chemical kinetics. So chemical kinetics is branch of chemistry which deals with the rate of a reaction, and also it explains the mechanism of a given reaction, that is chemical kinetics. Now in a given reaction, that reactant get converted into product. Now I told you that what is the chemical kinetics, the branch of chemistry which deals with the rate of reaction and mechanism of reaction. Now one thing, what is the rate of reaction? First we have to explain what is the rate of reaction. In a reaction, two things are involved. One is reactant, another is product. So whenever a reaction going on, that reactant get converted into product. So initially some reactant is there. After some time, that given amount of reactant starts decreasing and that reactant get converted into product. So initially the amount of product is 0, but with passage of time that amount of reactant get converted into product, so amount of product starts increasing, or we can say that reactant starts converting into product. Now two changes are there. One is change in the concentration of reactant, another one is the change in the concentration of product. So rate of reaction can be explained either in terms of change in concentration of reactant or in terms of change in concentration of product. First we are going to explain rate of reaction on the basis of change in concentration of reactant R. Initially that concentration of reactant is R1. Here this bracket represent concentration. After when T is 0, after a time T, what happens, this concentration of reactant decrease to R2. Now the final concentration at time T is R2. In the same way, initially there is no product, so initial concentration of product is 0 when T is 0. After time T, that reactant get converted into product, so concentration of product become P. Or we can write here P1 is the concentration of product, that is 0 at T is equal to 0, and P2 is equal to P, the concentration of product at time T. So what is the rate of reaction? The formula of rate of reaction is change in concentration of reactant. Change in concentration of reactant means final concentration of product, that is R2 minus R1 divided by time, that T2 minus T1. Here T2 is T and T1 is equal to 0. R2 minus R1 divided by T minus 0. Or simply, if T1 and T2 times are given to you, then we can write here R2 minus R1, we can write delta R divided by change in time, delta T. Now see that reactant, initially reactant R1, finally reactant R2, what happened? With passage of time, concentration of reactant decrease. So R2 value is less than R1. That's why this delta becomes negative. So rate of reaction is equal to minus delta R by delta T. Here delta R is change in concentration and delta T is time taken or change in time, or we can say that time taken. If we want to write this rate of reaction in terms of product, then rate of reaction in terms of product, change in concentration of product, that final concentration of product P2 minus P1 divided by T2 minus T1, time taken. P2 minus P1 we can write delta P, and here T2 minus T1 delta T. Delta P is change in concentration of product and delta T is time taken to convert this conversion of this reactant R1 into R2, or we can say that formation of product P2 from P1. Now see, initially the concentration of product is less or 0, finally concentration of product is more, so this delta P come out to be positive, so we can write here delta P by delta T. Now one conceptual question arises here. In rate of a reaction expression, that rate is expressed like that, minus delta R by delta T, but in terms of product it is written like that, plus delta P by delta T. What this plus and minus signify? Here minus sign before change in concentration of reactant signify that with passage of time the concentration of reactant decrease, and positive sign before change in concentration of product so that the concentration of product increases with passage of time. This is very important conceptual question. Why we put negative sign before change in concentration of reactant in expression of rate of a reaction, but we put plus before change in concentration of product in rate of a reaction? That negative sign signify here change in concentration of reactant, or we can say that concentration of reactant decrease with passage of time and concentration of product increase with passage of time. That's why positive and minus negative signs are used here. Now what is the unit of rate of a reaction? Simply rate of reaction is small r, that if we want to express it in terms of reactant, then minus delta R by delta T we can write. If we want to write in terms of product, then R is equal to plus delta P by delta T. Here delta R and delta P are change in concentration of reactant and change in concentration of product. So what is the unit of rate of reaction? That R. What is the unit of R? Here R is change in concentration. So we have to write unit of concentration, and unit of concentration is mole per liter. Mole per liter. And unit of time is second. So unit of rate of reaction is concentration. We can write concentration time inverse, or we can write mole per liter per second. That is the unit of rate of reaction. This is again very important conceptual question, or we can say that 1 mark question. What is the unit of rate of a reaction? Then unit of rate of reaction is mole per liter per second, or we can say that concentration time inverse. Now, on the basis of speed of conversion of reactant into product, the rate of reaction, or we can say that reactions are categorized into 3 categories. That is fast reaction, moderate reaction, and slow reaction. What are the fast reactions? The reaction in which time required for conversion of a reactant into product is very less, or we can say that fraction of second is required for conversion of a reactant into product. That reaction is known as fast reaction. Slow reaction, the reaction in which time required for conversion of reactant into product is very large, or we can say that years are required to convert a reactant into product. That is slow reaction. Moderate reaction, the reaction in which time required for conversion of reactant into product is intermediate, that of fast reaction and slow reaction. Means neither very large time period is required or very less time period is required. Intermediate time period is required. These reactions are known as moderate reaction. Now, how can we classify that given reaction is fast reaction and given reaction is moderate reaction and given reaction is slow reaction? On the basis of time period involved. Then why for fast reaction time period is less and for slow reaction time period is more? The reaction which are ionic, or we can say that reaction in which ionic reactant and products are involved are very fast reaction. For example, acid-base neutralization reaction. Acid-base neutralization reaction. NaOH plus HCl that get converted into NaCl plus H2. This reaction is very fast reaction. A fraction of second is required for completion of this reaction. Why the reactions are categorized as fast reaction in which ionic reactants are involved or ionic products are involved? Because here ions are already present. Na plus is there, OH minus is there, in the same way H plus is there, plus Cl minus is there. They simply combine with each other, oppositely charged simply combine with each other and form salt. That's why only fraction of second is required for completion of these fast reactions. Why slow reactions are take more time for their completion? Because here reactant and product first that get converted into ions, or we can say that first slowly get degraded, then they get converted into product. That's why they require more time. Most of the reaction we are going to discuss here are moderate reaction. Slow reaction example, rusting of iron is there, that conversion of graphite into diamond. That is example of very slow reaction, or we can say that slow reaction. Now, what are the factors on which the rate of reaction depends? Next topic is factors on which rate of a reaction depends. First is concentration of reactant, or we can say that concentration of product with passage of time. Initially concentration of reactant, or simply we can write here concentration. Another one is time, temperature and pressure. These are the factors on which rate of a reaction depends. Later we are going to discuss what is the role of concentration of reactant and concentration of product on rate of reaction, what is the role of time, what is the role of temperature, and what is the role of pressure. One more thing here, and catalyst. What is the role of catalyst on the rate of reaction? We are going to discuss it later. Before that, we are going to discuss here that rate of a reaction is categorized in two categories. One is the instantaneous rate of reaction and another one is the average. Measurement of rate of reaction. Measurement of rate of reaction. That is done by two ways. One is average rate of reaction. Another one is instantaneous rate of reaction. First one, average rate of reaction. I already told you expression that R is equal to, here we can write R average. That is minus delta R by delta T. R average in terms of product plus delta P by delta T. What is the difference between that average rate of reaction and instantaneous rate of reaction? If time interval is given to you, then we have to express that rate of reaction in terms of average rate of reaction. If at any particular instant of time we have to find out rate of reaction, that reaction is known as instantaneous rate of reaction. The rate of reaction at particular instant of time, that is known as instantaneous rate of reaction. And the rate of reaction in a given time interval, that is known as average rate of reaction. For example, if we want to plot a curve between concentration and time, then from this rate expression, that concentration of reactant decreases with passage of time. So curve is like this. Here this curve, so that here concentration is concentration of reactant R. Here this curve, so that concentration of reactant is decreasing with passage of time. Suppose here time T1 is given to you, here time T2 is given to you. Now we have to find out that rate of reaction between T1 and T2. So this rate of reaction is known as average rate of reaction. What we do, that slope of reaction, slope of the curve. Slope of curve is here. This is the concentration, that is R1, and this is the concentration, that is R2. So here slope is R2 minus R1 divided by T2 minus T1, and that will come out to be minus delta R by delta T. Why minus? Because value of R2 is less and value of R1 is more. That's why it will come out negative. If here concentration of product is given, here concentration P is given with time, then plot becomes like this. What this curve signifies, that concentration of product increase with passage of time. So same thing we have to do here. Slope of curve we have to find. Here T1, here this one T2. So this is the concentration P1 and this is the concentration P2. So rate of reaction here, that is P2 minus P1 divided by T2 minus T1. Now P2 is more, or we can say that value of P2 is high and value of P1 is less. So plus sign, delta P divided by delta T, positive sign. This is the expression for average rate of reaction. Because certain time interval is given to you, T1 and T2. If this time interval tends to 0, or we can say that delta T tends to 0, or if we want to calculate the rate of reaction at particular instant of time, that T1. What is the rate of reaction at time T1? That rate is known as instantaneous rate of reaction. If we want to find out the rate of reaction at time t2, that is again known as instantaneous rate of reaction. Here delta t tends to 0. Then what will be the expression? R average is equal to P2 minus P1, T2 minus T1 or delta P by delta T. If delta T tends to 0, then delta get converted into differential, that D. So R instantaneous becomes equal to dP by dt. If we want to express it in the form of reactant, then R instantaneous becomes equal to minus dR by dt. Only difference is that in average rate of reaction, time interval is given, that is delta T. So expression becomes delta P by delta T or minus delta R by delta T. If delta T tends to 0, then average rate of reaction get converted into instantaneous rate of reaction and delta get converted into differential D. So we have to write dP by dt or minus dR by dt. That's it. And how we can predict this R instantaneous on the basis of curve? If we have to calculate the slope of curve between time interval t1 t2, then it will give that average rate of reaction. If we draw a tangent, this is the concentration of reactant versus time curve. If we want to find out that rate of reaction at this time interval, then what we do, we have to draw a tangent. We have to draw a tangent. On the basis of this tangent, we can find out that rate of reaction, and that will come out to be R instantaneous minus dR by dt. That is instantaneous rate of reaction. In the same way for product curve, again we have to draw the tangent. At any given instant of time, we have to draw the tangent. Then we can find out instantaneous rate of reaction.